It's Grant here and welcome back to Business Breakthrough. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to show you why most small businesses don't work, and more importantly than that, I'm going to show you what to do about it. But did you know something else? You might not even have a small business. You might just have bought yourself a job. So let's find out. Well, hi, welcome back. It's Grant here today and another week of Business Breakthrough. And today I've got some notes and I've been looking at some details. I've been looking at some figures today, and I'd like to share some of these figures with you so that I can help you really with where you're at, where you want to be going and what you can do about it. And at the end of this video, I will share with you just 3 simple steps and 3 simple things that you can do. So don't fast forward, just stay tuned. So there's an ASIC report that I read this morning, the Australian Security and Investments, whatever they are, ASIC. You guys know ASIC. It was published in the Huffington Post. And it says in quite a lot of detail, I've just broken it down into 3 points here, but it tells us why a lot of small businesses don't work. And I'm going to share with you just how many small businesses close down in Australia every year. And if you're a small business owner, I'm also going to share with you how small businesses are categorized and where you sit in that. And of course, as I said at the end, I'm going to show you some things you can do about it so you can have a bit more freedom and maybe move some more in your business and perhaps grow if that's something you want to do. So here's the first thing, it's 44% is the first number. 44% of businesses close down in Australia because of poor strategic management. Now, the reason for that, as I've experienced and maybe you've experienced as well, strategic management can only occur when there's a space for it to occur. So it's capacity for strategic management that oftentimes stops these things from happening. So what does that mean? It means that most business owners, as I've explained to you before, have gone into a business because they've been good at or compelled to do a thing that they enjoy, love, or are experienced at. For example, somebody who worked in a boutique will then go and open a boutique. Someone who worked in retail will then go and open a retail store, and so on and so on. There's the rare occurrences where there's somebody that's worked as an accountant will go and open a business that they have seen do well whilst working in an accounting firm. But it's the same sort of deal. You found something that you thought you could be good at, you've gone and opened a business that does that thing, and then you're in that business, but you're busy doing the things that that business requires you to do and not the strategic management part. So 44% of businesses will close due to poor strategic management simply because the business owner doesn't have the capacity for that strategic management. They only have the capacity for the thing that they set off and started to do, and perhaps there wasn't enough planning in the beginning. So that's thing number 1. Second, 40%. Inadequate cash flow, try and say that 5 times fast, or high cash use. 40% of business. So we've got 44%, then we've got another 40%. Another 40% are closing because of inadequate cash flow or poor cash use. And what does this mean? It means that inadequate cash flow says that not enough sales are coming through. Why? Because when the person started this business, you might know some of them, when the person started this business, a whole bunch of friends and family and well-meaning people said to them that, yeah, it's a great idea. Go do this thing, go start this business. You'll be great at it. Donna, you'll be terrific at it. Cindy, you'll be great. John, you'll be amazing. David, you should have always done this. Jeffrey, etc. Right? You got it? There's a whole bunch of people in a whole bunch of different ways that thought that because they were working as an auto electrician, for an auto electrician, and they saw the auto electrician get all the money coming in, that they decided that they would go and become an auto electrician themselves. And it just plain and simply doesn't work. Why? Because they never learn how to sell. They never learn the sales component of that business. They never learned that there's a method to gaining new business. They didn't perhaps learn the marketing that was involved, but they were very, very good at the skill set. So inadequate cash flow is because of sales, and high cash use is because they just really, again, have bought themselves a job, a JOB, which stands for just over broke. Okay? Maybe that's not you. 33% is from trading losses. And trading losses, of course, means, again, not being able to have an eye close enough on the business. They don't really know the numbers, and if you don't know the numbers, you don't know the business. Trading losses means that you're busy working a whole heap of hours doing a whole heap of stuff, but you're not either charging what you're worth, you're not bringing the money in, or perhaps you never understood things like margin and markup to begin with. So there's three main reasons that businesses fail. And here's some other numbers on this. I'll just scroll down here. 44 businesses are closing in Australia per day. That's 16,060 businesses a year. So what are the sizes of these businesses? Well, you might think that you have a small business. A small business is categorized between 15 to 20 employees, or between 5 and 19, depending on whether you look at the ASIC website or other websites. But generally speaking, and even Wikipedia agrees, it's somewhere between 5 and 19 employees for a small business. But most of you that I'm speaking to right now, and you probably have this as well, you probably have a micro business, and a micro business is between 1 and 4 employees in Australia. Slightly different in other countries, slightly higher and lower, but generally around that area. There is a big confusion between entrepreneurs and small businesses. Most small businesses are simply entrepreneurs, or people who want to, in Australia, give it a go, give it a crack, and move away from some pain, move away from some unwanted employment, and into something they thought they could have some control of. But a moment ago, I just showed you 44, 40, and 33% of why those businesses closed down. What the ASIC website and other websites have said, as I've read through them this morning, and I agree, most businesses will either start with a bad idea, start with a lack of capital, or start with improper training. And I cannot understand why in Australia this needs to happen at the moment. So I said there are three things that you need to know today to stop this from happening. And the first is quite simple, that if you don't have systems in your business, if you're still relying on everything being done by you, if you're not mapped out and have a process for things, a systems, policies and procedures and so on, you will be in either that 44%, that 40% or that 33%. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt. And here's the second. Unless today you learn effectively how to scale your business. Now what that means is grow your business without you getting busier, personally getting busier. Scaling your business means that you should be able to grow your business exponentially. That is, keep growing it and keep growing it and keep growing it without you personally suffering from that. You must learn to scale your business if you want to grow, and if you want to avoid being in that high percentage of businesses in Australia that close down. And the last thing is you've got to learn to sell. If you don't know how to sell, and you don't know how to market your business, if you don't know how to explain who you are and what you do, if you can't plant seeds in future potential clients' minds and help them to come to you and be attracted to your product and help them to understand why they should spend money with you, then I'm really sorry to say that you're going to be in that percentage of businesses that will close as well. So I'm sorry it's a bit of bad news, but if you want to learn how to systemize, if you want to learn how to scale, if you want to learn how to sell, if you want to learn how to do all of those things, there's a link below to my website, and just above me now, there's a link that you can click where I'll give you some free tools and you can get started today. This has been Daily Breakthrough. I'm Grant. I'll see you again tomorrow.